Nursing home, the call that something has happened. In this case, that call went to a high-profile Detroit family, and their elderly father died soon after. It happened at Dearborn's Henry Ford Village. Mara McDonald live, and Mara, I guess the family has now filed a lawsuit.
They sure have, Devin, a wrongful death lawsuit. You know, this started with a phone call to the family telling them that their dad had a bruised arm, and it got so much worse. Kerfoot Lewis was a strapping, vital man who ran his Detroit restaurant for decades. He was the father of Detroit Deputy Mayor Kirk Lewis and has other successful, well-known adult children in Metro Detroit, like Krista Conyers.
He should be here. There is no reason whatsoever other than Henry Ford's negligence that he's not here today.
This past April, the family got a call saying his arm was bruised. They rushed down to Henry Ford Village to find him in terrible pain with a massive hematoma to the arm and contusions to both wrists. The family insisted he be taken to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with a broken arm. Lewis has dementia. He's also bedridden. How did this happen? 2 months later, he was dead. He never recovered from the injury. Since June, the family says it's tried to get answers from Henry Ford Village. They say they've gotten nowhere and have retained well-known attorney Norman Yatuma, who filed a wrongful death suit this week.
Which, by the way, we only did because we couldn't get them to open their doors, open their files, or open their mouths.
While all the Lewis children have shed tears over this, Krista feels the worst. She was the one who urged her parents to move in there in the first place.
Because they promised us that when he moved in there, he would get the appropriate care, that he could live there from the time they moved in all the way through the time he transitioned. They promised that to us, and they broke their promise.
Back here live, when Mr. Lewis was first injured, I spoke with Henry Ford Village. They told me that an internal investigation was underway to try and get to the bottom of what has happened here. I spoke to them again tonight. They tell me they had no idea that this lawsuit has been filed in Wayne County Circuit Court and that it would be inappropriate for them at this time to comment on something that their attorneys simply have not had a chance to look at. Devin, back to you.
Maura, I don't even know if there's a way of knowing this, but is there a possibility that Lewis could have just fallen by himself?
You know, I asked the same question, and his family says no. He could not lift himself out of bed. He could barely, you know, move his neck up. But once again, it really depends on what the investigation has shown, which is something that when you speak to this family, they're really angry that they've seen nothing, or they say they've seen nothing.
I think we could sense that. Mara McDonald reporting tonight from Dearborn. We're following other stories making headlines from around the metro area.
And they come to us.